Hi, my name is Ratnawati. I'm from English Department of IAIN Parepare, and today I wanna explain to you about two lessons is debate and discuss. First, I will explain to you about discuss. So, what is definition of discuss? Discuss is a course between two peoples or in group where the aim is to discuss a specific theme or topic so as to produce an agreement of opinions, and which is the involved is discussion in discussion is moderator, moderator and audience. So what are the texts about them? The first is moderator. The text of moderator number 1 is open and start the discussion. Number 2 is explain the topic and rules discussion. Number 3 is introduce the materials. Number 4 arrange the course of discussion. And number 5 is prepare the notulen to read the conclusion. And the last is close the discussion. The second is notulen. The text of notulen is number 1 read the important point of discussion, and number 2 is read the result, the conclusion of discussion, and the third is audience. The text of audience number 1 is X, number 2 is give a rebuttal and arguments logical, and the last is take a note result of discussion as documentation individual. And then the effect of participating in group discussion on student skill. Number 1 is skill to use language function. Number 2 is skill to analyze. Number 3 is skill to perceive and confuse. Number 4 is skill to respect others, and the last is skill to support one another. And type of in the group discussion in the classroom. Number 1 is problem based group discussion, and number 2 is topical group discussion, and number 3 is article based group discussion. And that is explain about discussion, and the next I will explain to you about debate. So see the next lesson. Hello, welcome back with me Ratnawati, and this lesson I will explain to you about debate. Debate is activities fight to teams arguments by conveying strong and relevant evidence so that team arguments win. And there are two teams in debate is affirmative teams and opposition teams. Affirmative teams, the teams that support or agree with the topic or motion, and the opposition teams is the teams that opposes or disagree with the topic being debated. Each team consists 3 debaters, namely the first speaker, the second speaker, and the third speaker. In debate, the number of judges is always odd to avoid having a draw, and judges in debate are called adjudicator. And there is also what is called is chairperson, the person who is the leader of in debate. And there is also is keep a timekeeper, and the person who is in charge of counting debaters' time talk. The standard time talk for debaters is 7 minutes. 3 mayors three major parts of the debate. The first is constructive speech, the second is cross-examination, and the third is rebuttal. The first is constructive speech. Writing your constructive speech, as you already you know, team will present 2 or 4 minutes constructive speech during debate. Your main argument in favor of the in favor in of the resolution when you are affirmative and against the resolution when you are negative. And a constructive speech should always accomplish the following. Number 1, it will present your primary arguments. The second is it will provide support for the arguments in the form of evidence and reasoning. And the third is it should be persuasively written, or should include introduction, transition, and conclusion. The second is cross-examination. Cross-examination is a period of time between speeches where opponents case, and if all goes well, an important concession for you to win the debate. And then do and don't of question. Do keep your question argumentative, and do ask relative short questions, and do reference speeches in your question, and do make sure you fully understand arguments before moving on, and do keep your and do keep your eye on the judge. And don't start question with do you agree or are you aware, and do re-explain things that already clear, and don't look at your opponent when asking questions, and the do and don'ts of answering. And do keep your answer short and sweet, and do be conspective to the questions, and do reference authors from the form 1AC, and do start at the judge for attention. And don't answer irrelevant question. And the second, don't interrupt your partner if they are answering a question, and don't be afraid to admit you don't know everything or something. And rebuttal is response to opposing arguments, logical, well expressed, and passionate attack. How to structure a rebuttal. The first is using signposting that the opposing argument are fake. And the second, explain why it is incorrect. And the third is link this back to your arguments. And rebuttal tips: do prepare rebuttals, including evidence, and do make your rebuttals meaningful, and Do work as a team when writing rebuttals. And don't point out every mistake, and don't rush through rebuttals. I think that is explain about debate. I hope you can understand about discussion and debate. And the last I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.